Well, welcome back to the channel, Old Cars, New Van. The famous cliche, Princess Anne had one of those. Every time I see a Reliant Scimitar at a show, that old joke pops into my head. But actually, the last Scimitar GTE she owned, the one she had from 1988 till 2023, some 35 years, and the one that she actually did 114,000 miles in, wasn't actually a Reliant. It was a Middlebridge Scimitar. So a little bit of history for you. When Reliant Scimitar production ended in 1986 to make way for the new SS1 Roadster, a car that would hardly prove a sales success, Middlebridge Group was founded by a Japanese millionaire. Now, I'm probably going to pronounce his name incorrectly, so please forgive me. It was Koji Nakauchi and Dennis Nursey, who was an Aston Martin engineer, predominantly to go racing, because if you know your history, they actually bought the Brabham team for the 1990 F1 season. But they were also interested in road cars, and they also wanted to make a quintessentially British road car. And this was targeting particularly the Japanese export market. I mean, you have to remember in those days, original shape minis were all the rage to be shipped out to Japan, Jaguars. It was very much a sort of time where Japanese culture was very into old-fashioned looking traditional British cars. Originally, they were going to plan a new car with sort of Japanese mechanicals, but obviously that would have been very expensive and very difficult for a startup company. And the offer for the rights, the tooling, and all the back orders for the now discontinued Scimitar GTE seemed a pretty great option, so that's the way they went. Now, Princess Anne's love affair with the GTE goes right back to her childhood, when her father, Prince Philip, had as his own personal car for 2 years the one-off ogle design Pilkington glass collaboration conversion of a Scimitar GTS. And obviously this made quite an impression on the young Princess Anne, because for her 20th birthday, when she was asked, well, what car would you like? A Scimitar GTE was the requested car. This was followed in 73 by her second car and 6 more after that, so she had 8 in total. All her cars had the jumping horse bonnet emblem on them, which was a gift from her mother, the Queen. And indeed all bore the same reg number, 1420H, which was again a 20th birthday present from the 14th, 20th King's Hussars, because Princess Anne was the Colonel-in-Chief of that regiment. So she really became Reliant's champion. But it wasn't just Scimitar GTEs, which she's so well known for. Did you know she actually had a Robin? And then a multiple of kitten estates for use at her country estate, Gatcombe Park, and they were used as farm vehicles. So she was a strong ambassador when obviously the rights transferred to Middlebridge, to try and support their efforts, and she even opened their factory in 1988. And indeed, in 1988, their revised model with many improvements, not least the breathed-over injected 2.9 Ford Cologne V6 engine, the car was displayed at the British International Motor Show. Now, Princess Anne actually ordered a pearlescent sapphire green example with black velour interior. Unfortunately, they were a bit late delivering it to her, but nevertheless, it arrived, and I think it was the 5th car they made. But unfortunately, the endeavour didn't last very long, and after less than 2 years, the firm pulled the plug, and the GT was no more. Which is probably why Princess Anne kept this last example so long, as she couldn't replace it. It was her 8th and final GTE. A fire sale of the factory's huge pile of stock and the rights that had been acquired from Reliant was the sad ending to these endeavours. But Princess Anne remained a keen supporter of the Enthusiast Club, and even hosted the 25th anniversary of the club at her Gatcombe estate. But eventually she had to admit by 22, 23 that it just simply wasn't realistic to keep using such a vehicle. And so the car was eventually gifted to the Great British Car Journey for public display. So very much the end of an era, but I've had the privilege of seeing the car in the flesh, as you will see now. Princess Anne's actual scimitar. She used to own this. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little mini history lesson on the Scimitar GTE and in particular Princess Anne's involvement of it. Please like and subscribe, and see you again very soon for other videos, probably on completely different subjects to this one. Thanks again. Cheers.